Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Moorhead police are looking for the 3 people behind a string of car break-ins, all caught on doorbell cameras. It happened last night in South Moorhead near Reinertson Elementary. Police say the thieves walked away with several expensive items. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with most of the break-in victims today and joins us now in the studio with the latest. Bailey.
Thanks, Andrea. Now, Moorhead police tell me there were 5 car break-ins last night. One of the first being caught on camera in the 1100 block of 38th Avenue South just before 2 this morning. Now, take a look at your screen. You can see 3 people approach the driveway. One gets lucky with an unlocked pickup truck, while the other car gets left alone. The victim tells me the suspects didn't run away with much from his pickup, saying there was only about $20 in change taken. But he says the car prowlers did leave quite a mess behind. Now, those same prowlers can be seen on another security camera just minutes later on the 40th Avenue South block. This time, the suspects got into 2 vehicles, but the victims tell me they didn't get away with much this time either, saying the only thing that they could find missing from their cars were 2 packs of cigarettes. And about an hour later, this time on 37th Avenue South, the crooks find yet another unlocked car. But the victim in this case tells me they're not sure if anything was taken or not. Now, Moorhead police tell me in one of the 5 break-ins, a name brand purse, wallet, backpack, passport, and an electronic device were stolen, urging you to remember to take all your valuables out of your car every time you get out of it, and reminding you of the importance of locking your doors. Andrea.
All right, thank you, Bailey. Moorhead police say in the last 10 days, there's only been 1 other car break-in, but they say it was nowhere near the area of last night's incidents. We dropped a few degrees, backing away from the 80s for a couple days. Let's find out what's happening this evening with Hutch and No Wait Weather.
Andrea, thanks so much. You know, we do have some clouds and a little bit of a breeze, but it's still a great night for a Cashwise backyard barbecue. And for a select few of us, we'll have a chance at a sprinkle or 2. Let's get started with a look at that radar. And first thing that you'll notice is we do have a fair amount of cloud cover here in the Southern Valley. It's cloud-free up north, and the sprinkle chances are mainly south of Interstate 94. That includes parts of west central Minnesota, in western Otter Tail County, Wilkin County, and straight down through Richland County towards Oaks. We're seeing just a few sprinkles. These will be brief and fairly light, comparatively speaking. Our recent rainfalls have been heavy. Tonight, light sprinkles in the far south. Temperatures will slip back into the near 70-degree range as we go through the 8 o'clock hour, with the winds picking up just a little bit as well. Grand Forks, how about 50s by bedtime? It looks like a refreshing night of weather to crack the window up. And let's introduce you to tonight's winner of the Cashwise Backyard Barbecue. It's Leanne Tangen. Leanne, where did you sign up to win?
I signed up at the 52nd Avenue store.
I'll tell you, and have you been signing up for a long time?
Yeah, about 20 years.
Oh, well, congratulations on winning. Leanne, you have just an absolutely phenomenal backyard, so inviting. And are you looking forward to some steaks tonight?
Yes, I'm very hungry. I haven't ate all day.
Oh, good. Saving room for the steaks. So we got those on. Our friends from Cashwise are manning the grill, and they're getting ready to fire things up here. We'll check back in with your full forecast in just a little bit. We'll talk about some unsettled weather coming this weekend, Andrea. But for now, we'll head it back into the studio to you.
Okay, thanks, Hutch. A 22-year-old man is now in custody in connection with a stolen vehicle that ended up crashing into a gate at Hector International Airport. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard has details on the early morning crash and how police were able to stop him. Callie?
Andrea, officials say it all started with a report of a stolen vehicle from the 1600 block of Dakota Drive North. This morning around 1, officers reported locating the vehicle in the 2200th block of 13th Avenue South. An officer pulled him over and he drove away. Then police spotted him again a few minutes later at the 2400th block of 13th Avenue South. Officials pulled him over and the both of them drove away. It wasn't until 8 a.m. that officers were dispatched to PetroServe at 205 NP Avenue in Fargo for a report of a stolen vehicle. The driver was identified as Andrew Travis Brooke Hadley. He eluded police after seeing their marked cars. Hours later, police got a report that the driver was on NP Avenue in Fargo. They again failed to catch Brooke Hadley. Eventually, officers deployed a tire deflation device and were able to perform a pit maneuver as Brooke Hadley crashed through airport gates. Brooke Hadley was taken into custody and is now facing several charges. Andrea?
All right, Callie, thank you. Authorities need your help finding a missing teenage girl from Bemidji. 16-year-old Deshania Maldonado was last seen on the north side of town last night around 9. Police believe that she left the area voluntarily and that her disappearance does not appear suspicious. Deshania is 5'7", about 215 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair, and has the word faith tattooed on the inside of her right elbow. She was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and dark sweatpants. President Trump has spent his day with the victims' families, survivors, and first responders after those mass shootings in Ohio and Texas. As the communities continue to grieve, some say his trip is adding to their pain. Jay Gray is there with the latest in El Paso at the scene of the first and deadliest attack.
President Trump on the ground in Dayton and met by protesters.
I want to send Trump a message that we need to have sensible gun control in this country.
That message in the wake of the weekend attack. Loud and clear. The president spending time with victims in an area hospital, local lawmakers and first responders, as well as lawmakers who say they challenged him on the issue of gun control.
Both the senator and I spoke very directly what we've been saying the whole time about the need for common sense gun legislation.
The meetings outside the view of cameras, but a handful of supporters were not.
It's terrible what happened down here, but that has nothing to do with our president.
In El Paso, the president's second stop, frustrated city officials say he has everything to do with the massacre there.
They were killed because of the rhetoric from the president, and our community knows that.
A community on edge.
Take off that hat.
This shouting match.
He's here to thank all the police officers and the first responders.
Erupting at the memorial outside of the Walmart where 22 were gunned down. Friends and family gather at a funeral home to say goodbye to one of 8 Mexican nationals killed in the attack, making one last trip across the border. Jay Gray, NBC News, El Paso.
Officials say the reality of saying goodbye is a painful process that, unfortunately, dozens of families from Mexico through El Paso to Dayton are dealing with right now. Senator Amy Klobuchar says President Trump's latest expression of interest in a background checks bill must be matched by action. The Democratic presidential candidate commented after a campaign event where she recalled attending a White House meeting with Trump last year in which he expressed being open to universal background checks. Klobuchar says Republicans in Congress would follow his lead if he truly wanted the bill.
What's key to me is what does he do when he comes back, right? It's words, fine, but what about the action? And I'm the one that sat across from him in the White House where 9 times, there's a video of it that we put out, 9 times he said to me that he wanted to get universal background checks done. He said it again this week. Now, come on.
Klobuchar notes she represents Minnesota, a state with a strong hunting tradition, and she says there's no contradiction between background checks and sports hunting. A Minnesota insurer is taking steps to give financial relief to patients who are struggling with the skyrocketing cost of insulin. Medica announced this week that both commercial and individual members in Minnesota will pay no more than $25 for a 30-day supply of insulin, beginning January 1st of next year. The company insists the new cap will have no impact on premiums for at least the coming year. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, you might want to head to Detroit Lakes for the Becker County Fair. With fair season coming to an end, it's the perfect time to sample the last round of fair food, like cheese curds and corn dogs. But the Becker County Fair has a lot of entertainment, too. The 4-H Club will be there again, showing a variety of different animals, like cows, sheep, goats, and pigs. The fair runs until Saturday evening, with the grounds opening at 8 a.m. each day.